Hello everyone, it is Thursday afternoon. That means it's time for another Facebook Live. I just realized I did not have my laptop going. So let me get that going while you all are finding me. And then I can share this with my page. We are going to make these two fun cards. We made this in my friend Kay's technique class last weekend. And they look really complicated, but they're very easy. All right, let's get this shared over and we will get started. Hey, Kaki. All right. Sorry, it's taking me just a minute to get my laptop going. Get this shared. And then we will get started. All right, it says it's posting. All right. Let's get back over where I was. Okay. I think we're ready to start. There we go. Okay, let's get started. So we had some new products drop in the online exclusives day before yesterday. And this is one of them. This is the Textured Notes, and it's a whole suite. So it's a stamp set. We're only using the sentiment from this, but I have some other cards to show you. But the dies are the real star of the show. So they are all rectangular dies with different patterns. I don't know how else to say it because it's not really stitched like we're used to. Some of them are, but there's all these different patterns around the edges. Really fun. And you'll see that in the card we're making today. We used one of those. And there is an embossing folder. This is all a part of that suite. So this is the mini corrugated embossing folder. It's kind of hard to see. I'll show you a card that uses it. There's a little bit better. And then there are some, these are called neutral matte dots. My black is almost gone. There's white. I don't know if that's vanilla or basic beige. Hey, buddy. And then I think that's pecan pie. And then the other thing, for some reason I couldn't find it, I don't have it, is this thin white ribbon. So that's everything that comes in the suite. So let's get started. We're going to do some die cutting, so let's do some stamping first, and then we'll get all our die cutting done. So I have a piece of crumb cake. And this is the sentiment, you are seriously the best. And we're going to stamp in Mossy Meadow. That's one of the colors of our cardstock that we're using. And I'm going to stamp this twice. And then we'll die cut. The die cut is so narrow and is so close to the edge that trying to stamp a rubber mount stamp like that, where you can't see through it on a thin piece, is difficult. So that's why I stamped it first, and then we'll die cut. So let's get our die cutting done. So we need our skinny rectangle. This one that keeps wanting to fall off. just getting our mini die cut machine. Oh, don't fall. I'm going to grab a piece of Post-it note tape so I can get that to hold still while I run it through. So if you're new to my Facebook Live, I've been coming now on Thursday afternoons at 3, and I will give away, which I forgot to do. I was had lunch with some friends and then had to run some errands, so I didn't get back as early as I had hoped. So I have not drawn the number for last week's winner, so I'll do that after this. All right, so now we have our sentiment. But the cards that we make every week, I give them away the next week. Sorry, I can't talk and tape at the same time, evidently. So last week we made this fun card with celebration items because it was the last week of celebration. So I will, after the video, I'll post who won that because I forgot to draw for that before I came on. Still getting used to doing this on Thursday afternoon, so. All right. And we have our sentiments, but we're not done. All right, so there's both of our sentiments. Let me put this die away before I lose it. And now we're going to get, I can't remember what die set Kay said she used, but I am using Textured Floral dies. It's just, you want any die that just has some, like a solid leaf die like that. We're going to use this one. So this is the Textured Floral. And I have a piece of Lemon Lime Twist. And we're just going to set this in the middle of it. And they do not have to be like in the same place or anything. So we're going to run this through. So now we have two pieces. We have our outline and our leaf. Trying to get that off without tearing it. There we go. And now we'll do the same thing to our mossy meadow. And these I have already die cut with one of those special rectangles. So again, we'll just put our leaf in the middle there and run it through. Okay. Let me put this die away. And now we're done with our die cutting. So we can set this aside. All right. Now we're ready to put it all together. And what Kay did that was so ingenious is she has, so we are using copper clay for our card base. Oh, I forgot to show you this part. This is part of that suite too. This is the woven textures. So it's a bunch of just textures. Just nice neutral textures. So we're using that. So I have a couple of pieces of those. But the part that is ingenious, and I forgot to cut insides for that, so I'll do that later and make sure they're added, is you take your Stampin' Seal. So these are just kind of like, I don't know what you call them, base pieces. And you just run Stamp and Seal all over this. And then you set your negative one on top of that. So you just want to be sure. I've cut it a little bit smaller than this. And then you take the other color, and because there's all that seal in there, you can just set this inside and it holds it. And now you have this piece that you can pop up without worrying about anything falling out. We thought that was ingenious. Makes it so easy. So we're going to do the same thing. The other thing I forgot to mention is after this video is over, then I will post on my blog the dimensions for all of these pieces, so you don't have to wonder what they are. All right, now we'll take our Mossy Meadow piece and lay it in there. And there you go. Isn't that fun? Now we just have to put our card together. So let's get our card bases. So because we're making 2 today, then I will draw 2 names next week. So 2 people will win these. That seems only fair. All right, let's put our designer series paper on. And this one. And you could use either side. I'm just doing it like I did in Kay's class. Whoops. All right, and these are going to get popped up. And I still have tons of dimensionals left over from my paper pumpkin. So we're just going to use those because they're right here handy. I am going to put 5, 1 in each corner and 1 in the middle. And I liked the lighter one on that darker designer series paper. There is another set of designer series paper, and I don't have it right here in front of me. You'll see some of it in the cards I show you. But this suite has 2 designer series papers, the stamps, dies, embossing folder, ribbon, and those fun embellishments. All right, isn't that fun? And then I just took a little bit of seal in the middle here and put these on over those. And then the last thing we need are our matte dots. So I still have pecan pie ones, so that's what we'll use. I used all my black ones in some swaps that I did. So that's why I don't have any black ones left. But I've ordered some more. So we'll do another big one. I like to use my take your pick tool for these because it makes it so easy. Let's do that one there. All right. And there you go. Aren't those fun? And really easy to use, and you could use any die. You probably wouldn't want it to be like real intricate that has lots of little pieces, but anything that's solid like that, you could do that with. All right, let me show you some other cards. So this one uses both of the Designer Series paper and lots of those squares. This is the other one. It's a black and white with leaves and flowers and stuff, but it's all black and white. This is using some of the stamps from that again. Those fun die cut squares. There's the corrugated, mini corrugated embossing folder. So that one's going up and down. This one's going across. This is some of that paper, and then I stamped some black leaves on it. That was some thicker ribbon that I had. There's one that has several stamps from the set on it. Another one of those squares. And then this one I showed you briefly is one we're going to make in class tonight. And this one, I copied this from Kay. She had it in the same class that we did the technique. You die cut with that embossing folder, and then you, with the rectangle dies, and then you emboss it afterwards. So, there you go. Again, I'm sorry I forgot to post, or forgot to draw for who won last week's card, so I'll do that after this, and I will post on my blog the dimensions. And next week, somebody will win both of these. Not next week. There won't be one next week. I forgot. I'm going to be in North Carolina for the Stampin' Up! Convention. So no Facebook Live next week. It'll be in 2 weeks. And I'll have lots of fun things to show you. I won't be able to show you. We'll get the new annual catalog next week. I won't be able to show you any of the insides of that, but I may have a couple of projects that I've made that I can share. All right. I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.